Hello, my name is Colin Gibson, and I would like to discuss the Heartland Payment Systems security breach. The first thing I'd like to discuss is the specifics of the Heartland Payment Systems attack. According to the government, Albert Gonzalez stole around 130 million credit and debit card numbers through the attack on Heartland Payment Systems in 2007, though Heartland itself is unsure where the figure came from. SQL injection was the method used by Gonzalez and his accomplices to exploit Heartland's security, allowing the attackers to gain access to Heartland's personal corporate network. The attackers hid their IP addresses and activities through the use of proxies, and it took them about 6 months to bypass the various antivirus packages implemented by Heartland. At this point, they installed sniffer software, which according to the Encyclopedia of Information Science and Technology is defined as a hardware or software mechanism that monitors and possibly records data traffic on a network. This attack was a shift from obtaining data at rest to obtaining data in transit. The attackers did not attempt to take data once it had been stored into a database, but instead used the sniffer software to take the card data as it moved along Heartland's network. This kind of attack was not without precedence, however. Heartland believes that the fix to this issue is twofold. First, companies need to better gather and share information about potential security threats, and second, they need to implement new technologies to better secure data transfers. Partnering with FSISAC, the Financial Services Information Sharing and Analysis Center, Heartland helped to establish the Payments Processing Information Sharing Council as a subgroup of the FSISAC. This group was formed to allow information about vulnerabilities to be distributed to a large number of financial service providers. Companies that process 85% of the total processed transactions have joined, making it quite successful in its mission. Though the code that led to the exploited vulnerability was written 5 years prior to the attack, the vulnerability was not exploited until 2007. Heartland was certified as PCI compliant at the time of the attack and several times before when the vulnerability that allowed the attack was still in place. PCI is a data security standard for card processing companies which, according to PCI, is designed to build and maintain a secure network, protect cardholder data, ensure the maintenance of vulnerability management programs, implement strong access control measures, regularly monitor and test networks, and ensure the maintenance of information security policies. Better data sharing among the qualified security accessors, QSAs, that rate companies on their PCI compliance would also be beneficial to the security of the industry. For example, this was not the first time a SQL injection attack occurred, yet QSAs still certified Heartland as being PCI compliant despite the fact that their system was vulnerable to SQL injection for 5 whole years. If QSAs were better informed about vulnerabilities and attacks, it would be easier to find vulnerabilities such as this and allow companies to potentially avoid having these glaring vulnerabilities exploited. The second part of Heartland's security plan since the attack has been to push for better security for data transfers through the use of new technologies. As Robert Carr, CEO of Heartland Payment Systems, has said, PCI compliance is a minimum standard, saying that more needs to be done by companies beyond PCI compliance in order to secure data in transit. Heartland, since the attack, has moved to implement end-to-end encryption and data transfers to better secure data in transit. Heartland is a proponent of encrypting the data as soon as it is swiped, instead of actually encrypting the analog data on the magnetic strip of a credit card. But the basis of end-to-end encryption is that after data is encrypted at its source, it should not be transmitted unencrypted until the information reaches its destination. Other suggestions for new security measures include tokenization of credit card numbers and smart chip technology to enable encrypted storage of data on the card as well as encrypted exchange and transmission of that data. In conclusion, there is always room for improvement in a corporation's security measures. There can be many obstacles to implementing new security measures, such as cost or coordination. However, it shouldn't take a security breach to get companies to make strides in improving their security. In Heartland's case, it could have saved them $32 million in various fees and costs, and a lot of their market share had their security been better implemented. It is our job as computer engineers to shape what the future of data transaction looks like and to hopefully restore some of the trust that people have lost about the safety of their data after security breaches like at Heartland or the more recent Target breach.